It's KJ. Welcome back. We had a great message last week and an even better one for y'all this week. Before we get into the message for this week, we got praise and worship with Devoted.
Hey everybody, we're just here to remind you that you gotta hang on in there. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but we're just here to remind you to hang on. Yeah. What you gonna do when your back's against the wall? How you gonna smile when it seems that hope is lost? Tell me what you gonna do when you need a little more grace. Yeah. How you gonna smile when they try to test your faith? Hang on in there. Hang on in there. What you gonna do when your strength gets a little weak? Ooh. What song will you sing when you're feeling incomplete? Tell me what you gonna do when you're trying to almost slip? Oh. What you gonna do when you think you lose your grip? Hang on. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Ooh. Hang on. What you gonna do when your strength gets a little weak? Yeah. Song will you sing when you're feeling incomplete? Tell me what you gonna do when you're trying to almost slip? Yeah. Song will you sing when you're feeling in your grip? Hang on. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Ooh. Don't be too soon. Hang on. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Ooh. Hang on in there. You gotta hang when your back's against the wall. You gotta hang when it seems our hope is lost. See, I'm a witness, he'll hold you up. And in the process, he'll fill your cup. So I'm not worried, I'm not scared. I'm gonna trust like Jesus said. It's a message to the devil, you can't have my faith. And we gon' make it by his grace. You gotta hang on. You gotta hang on in there. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Hang on in there. Hang on in there. Hang on.
All right, Devoted, bringing the house down. Hey, that was great, but we got something even better. We're going to talk about surrendering, and here it is.
Hey y'all, it's Kennedy.
I'm Tatum.
And today we're just so excited to talk to y'all. We're going to talk to you guys about surrendering, meaning to just, give those, situations or problems you have to God and just giving it all to Him, letting Him take control. So Tatum, go.
So today I'm going to be reading Genesis 22, verses 1 through 13, and it's titled Abraham's Tested. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, "Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on the mountain I will show you." Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you." Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and himself carried the fire and the knife. As the 2 of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father Abraham, "Father." "Yes, son," Abraham replied. "The father and the wood are here," Isaac said, "but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham offered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the 2 of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told them about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bounded his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel called out from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," Abraham replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up. There in the thickest he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day it said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." So basically, the story is really important because Abraham didn't really hesitate. It took him a good 3 days to go up to the mountain to prepare to slay his son. And I think that's really important in modern day. We really don't want to listen to God and we really don't want to surrender. But it's really important that we do because God, it's for the greater good. And the end result is gonna be way better. Who knows if Abraham refused to slay his son, maybe Isaac would have been dead, but God provided a ram, and I think that's really important.
Yes,
So, yeah.
of course. So, I think everyone should get their notes out right now because we have 3 steps that we follow when we are having trouble with some situations in our life that we can take control of, but we cannot because, that's God's doing. And so, here are 3 things. So, we have surrendering, replace, and move. So, I'm going to tell you a story that I've had some troubles with telling before, but I'm going to tell it. So basically, one time, not that, a couple months ago, I was talking to somebody on and off. It was all fun. And then it started getting toxic, but I thought I could control it. And I was over here trying to control it, trying to do my own thing with it, switch it around, trying to maneuver it in some way. And at the time though, I didn't really have a relationship with God, but I didn't realize that because I was just so invested into this one person. It was terrible. But one night, it was in March, I think. One night I was on FaceTime with this person and they just hang up. And then I was sitting in bed. And I was like, what just happened? And I was just sitting there and I was just thinking, Kennedy, what is wrong with you? What is happening right now? And I just didn't feel like myself. I just felt so insecure, just so off the rails. And I sat there and I just prayed. And that's the night I surrendered my problem to God. I surrendered it. I prayed. I've never prayed so hard. I prayed. And I was like, God, please, just I give it all to you. Take it in your hands, Lord. I'm ready, whatever you are. If this is, do your thing. And I surrendered it. And then after that, it was so quick. It was quick. My feelings for that person started to change. And I went through a little bit of a rough patch though, but it changed. My feelings started to change a little for that person, and I started to, replace it. Meaning I started to doing things for myself, focusing on myself, focusing on God, having a better relationship with Him. I started to just do things I've never done before. I started signing up for different organizations, just stepping out of my comfort zone, replacing it, doing things that I just never done. And then after that, I just moved. I moved with the way. I moved from that situation. I barely talk to that person now. It's great. I'm kind of living my best life right now. I'm not gonna lie about it. Because, I've just given everything to God. I've surrendered it. I have just, let Him take the weight off my shoulders. So, yeah, that's a good story. Thanks.
A story that is important to me is about 2 years ago. I was in a very dark place in my life, and I just really didn't like the person I was becoming, honestly. The same with Kennedy. I lost touch with God. It just wasn't in the forefront of my mind to have a relationship with Him. But I just was doing things that weren't reflecting the light in me. And I remember one night I was in my room and I was playing worship music, and the song Reckless Love came on, and the words, chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99, really stuck out to me because God is willing to leave 99 sheep to find the one lost one, and I was the lost one at the time. And He found me, and from that point on, I've gained so many good friends that I cherish to this day. I'm nowhere in that place where I am today. It's gone. It's trash. It's garbage. And I think that's important. So I would say I surrendered, I moved, and I replaced it with lifelong friends that I cherish.
Good too. Thank you. Great song. So now, if you're a bit still confused about, surrendering, replace, and moving, here are some just verses that you can just look at, like write on your mirror, write on a post-it note, sometimes I even write like verses on like my arm, sometimes during school. But here is a verse that I think truly helped me with surrendering and understanding it a bit more. It's James 4:4. Chapter 4, verse 10, which says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will exalt you. So just meaning, let Him take control. Don't try to, have all the pride in the world and, try to take it yourself. Like, let Him take it. And then the next verse is for replacing. And that's Leviticus 26:10, which says, when you have consumed what was stored of the old, then you'll take out the old and replace it with the new. Meaning, you take all those old problems, replace them with something new. Do something different. Do something like, like what I did, for example. We were in quarantine. I started thinking of new ways I could, change my room a little bit. Kind of distract yourself and, get closer to God during that time. Read the Bible. Yeah, things like that. And then the next thing is moving. So this verse is Jeremiah 29:11, which says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare, not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Meaning, you doing these things, you're kind of going at this with a blind eye. You don't know what's going to happen, but God is there for you. He, just have faith in Him, and He will guide you, and He will help you through the way. You'll be all right. God's not going to He's not going to, just leave you on your own. He's there with you through the whole thing. So, Taylor, want to pray us out? Okay, I guess I'll pray us out. So, everyone close your eyes and bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for just, bringing people here, Lord. Thank you for just being who you are, Lord. Thank you for just being so amazing, Lord. I pray for everyone that's watching or listening, Lord, that they know that you're there for them, Lord, that they're not alone, that you have their back, Lord, and that you'll put nothing on their shoulders that they can't carry, Lord. I pray that people remember that they can surrender to you, Lord, that they can replace, Lord, and they can move, Lord, in you, Lord. I just pray for just being so amazing, Lord. I pray for people that are just going through, just going through things, and they just really need you. And just need to pray, amen.
Amen. And before we go, remember our call to action. Be sure to read Genesis 22, verses 1 through 13.
And also, don't forget to join us this Wednesday for Bible study, where we're going to be just talking about, surrendering again. Yeah. And it's going to be so fun. You should come join us.
We have a fun story.
We do have a fun story. It is a great story. But yeah, and then follow us at Concord Dallas YTH, I think. Yeah. So,
bye, guys.
Bye, guys.